Welcome to CBA Digital Network's edition of ESPN First Take. Today we are previewing Super Bowl 57. I'm here with longtime Eagles fan Ben Prudian and Giants fan Nick Harare, who is pulling for an Eagles loss here at Super Bowl 57. It's a great story for this Super Bowl. You know, this is one of the most talented rosters of all time with the Eagles. A defense with Hassan Reddick, Fletcher Cox, James Bradbury, Darius Slay, Josh Sweat. And then the offense with, phenom Jalen Hurts, who has just shot up in the ranks. Miles Sanders with a great year. Devonta Smith with a great year. A.J. Brown traded to the Eagles at the NFL draft, really helping Jalen Hurts come onto the scene. And Dallas Goedert, one of the top tight ends in the game. And then, obviously, the Chiefs' offense, you lost Tyreek Hill this year, but Patrick Mahomes still doing Patrick Mahomes things. Playing with a sprained ankle throughout most of the postseason. Just dominating with Travis Kelce continuing to do Travis Kelce things. Marquez Valdes-Scantling, Juju Smith-Schuster, Isaiah Pacheco has come on, and taken on this role as the number one running back in Kansas City. So Sunday it's going to be a great game, and we're going to talk about it right now. Ben, you're up first. What do the Eagles have to do in this game at State Farm Stadium in Arizona to come out on top? They have everything they need. But, what do they have to do to ensure that?
Yeah, so Connor, to start, obviously, like you said, they have one of the most talented teams in the league, almost of all time. Their D-line is what separates them from most teams because of their 70 sack season. 4 players with 10 or more sacks. Obviously, you mentioned Hassan Reddick being a candidate for Defensive Player of the Year. And
no doubt.
What I think is key for this D-line is that Patrick Mahomes has a high ankle sprain. That doesn't heal in 2 or 3 weeks. That takes at least 6 to 8 weeks to heal. And him still playing on it, obviously, 2 weekends ago, and him getting it in the divisional round versus the Jaguars, it's not healed. He's not going to be 100% for this game. He's not going to use his mobility to his advantage like he normally does. And I think if that Eagles D-line gets to him early and it gets past this decent Chiefs O-line, they can definitely get this game out of reach early. They have to get to Mahomes because he can't escape. He's not that type. He's a pocket passer in this game. He's not going to be that kind of escape magician on Sunday because of that ankle. And if Brandon Graham, the guy that stripped Tom Brady in the 2017-18 Super Bowl, that won the Eagles the game, obviously he's like someone that a lot of people are looking at because he steps up in those games. He's the veteran on this D-line, and Fletcher Cox, all these guys that makes this D-line magical is what they need to step up. They need to step up heavily in this game. And obviously, the Eagles secondary, you have Darius Slay, you have Bradbury, you have C.J. Gardner-Johnson, you have all these guys that you've picked up. And, they're not going to have a hard task. They're going to have, Juju, they're going to have Valdes-Scantling, who is a good deep threat. But if they just contain these, mediocre wide receivers, they'll be fine. And then you have Isaiah Pacheco, very shifty running back, obviously has had a great playoff run. That's all the D-line. That's what T.J. Edwards, the linebacker has to do. They have to contain that. But they really don't have a tough task if you actually look at the defense.
I would not say that. Patrick Mahomes, one of the top passers in the league.
I was going to say Mahomes.
Yeah, I think you're.
This is the Super Bowl. This isn't a regular season game. This is the Super Bowl. He's gonna put everything he has on the line. We saw it against the Bengals when he was going for that run on the sprained ankle. Obviously, he had some help from Asasi, the Bengals linebacker, but he's gonna put everything he has on the line, even if it costs him.
I'm not saying he won't, but obviously, if the Eagles just defend Travis Kelce, who's the best tight end in this game right now, they will be fine. If they know how to defend him and contain Pacheco with that D-line, they're going to be fine. They don't have to worry about Juju Smith-Schuster, a very mediocre wide receiver. Valdes-Scantling, he doesn't do a lot. He just goes deep all the time. He doesn't create a threat on this Eagles defense, who's top in the league in secondary. Obviously, everything about them makes them a stellar defense.
You overlook all of the receivers.
I'm not overlooking them.
I mean, yes, Patrick Mahomes makes them look good, but, they're actually playing well as well. Of course, you have Travis Kelce, one of the top tight ends in the league. It's going to be really hard to stop him. He had 7 receptions, 73 yards, and a touchdown against the Bengals. Arguably one of the top defenses in the league. And going off of the Chiefs' defense, that's another problem. Jalen Hurts, not been here before. Chiefs got to Joe Burrow 5 times, sacked him 5 times, 12 QB hits, 7 pass deflections, 6 tackles for loss. Jalen Hurts is going to have a really tough task. And, he hasn't been here before. He's relatively newer QB, and, what I like to think of, the last time he was in a big game like this, he got benched. So, I don't know.
But he's the MVP in the league right now, other than Mahomes.
He's not the MVP of the league. It's Mahomes.
He is the second in the running in MVP. There's no discussion to that. There is no discussion to that. Absolutely no discussion to that. And after this game, they're going to see that Hurts will be the MVP of the league after he outplays Mahomes with the team he has.
Well, Jalen Hurts, he's barely not even hit 4,000 passing yards yet as a QB, and that's just like to consider him in the MVP running, and he hasn't even hit 4,000 passing yards as a QB.
Have you seen his rushing yards?
Yeah.
Have you seen how many touchdowns?
He hit 350 rushing yards to Patrick Mahomes' 300. So, and he's considered a rushing QB. He just has 50 rushing yards more than Mahomes.
I don't think you should consider a rushing QB. I think he has a very good arm.
Tell me the passing.
I think the only way. I think and not to interrupt here, but I think the only way that the Eagles are. I think the Eagles are going to get an advantage, and they're going to really take advantage of that Chiefs defense is if Hurts runs this game. I think that's so. I mean, this game he's a Russian quarterback. They're going to win this game with his legs.
My belief is that Steve Spagnuolo, the chief defensive coordinator, against the Bengals, he loved to blitz in that game. And I think the Chiefs are going to contain Jalen Hurts, and I don't think he'll be able to handle it.
I don't think any team has been able to contain him all season.
Well,
no.
he hasn't played the Chiefs yet. Welcome to the Super Bowl.
A very mediocre defense. Very mediocre defense.
No,
the Eagles will put up 40-plus points on the Chiefs.
They're second in sacks, pass deflections.
You're going up against the best O-line in the game. Well, they won't be second in sacks. They're going to contain Chris Jones, obviously the star D-lineman.
They will not be able to
contain Chris Jones. Yes, they will. If they contain Chris Jones, the Eagles will beat the Chiefs by 20.
Yeah, but you're forgetting about Frank Clark.
It's
George
really just Jones. Yeah, Frank Clark, very good player too. I believe that this Eagles running wise with Kenneth Gainwell obviously getting out of his comfort zone in this playoffs, and Miles Sanders and maybe Boston Scott here and there, if they get through this D line and Hurts' mobility and his accuracy to A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Clef Watkins, and he goes after and attacks that secondary that the Chiefs have, that young secondary, that inexperienced secondary that the Chiefs have, they will put up so many points on this defense.
Well, you're talking about the inexperienced secondary, but Jalen Hurts is inexperienced. He hasn't really shown me that he's been accurate. Against the 49ers,
oh my God.
he oversailed A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, you could
What do you mean he hasn't shown accuracy?
You could do all the whining you want, but
If he hasn't shown accuracy, why is he second in the running for MVP race?
Well, because of his rushing, and he's not. I don't even consider him that good of a rusher.
Oh my gosh!
He doesn't pass the ball.
I don't even know if I can say anything anymore.
What? You can laugh.
I have to laugh because that is like one of the funniest things I've ever heard. That is unbelievable.
Let's. We talked about the offense. We've talked about the defense. We talked about injuries. Mahomes obviously playing with a sprained ankle. Both sides might struggle. Both sides, they're gonna do good things as well. Let's just let's talk about our predictions. We'll start with Nick this time. What are you thinking?
Yeah, so I'm gonna say I think it's gonna not be a too high of a scoring game because both defenses are very solid. I think the Chiefs will get the edge here. I'm gonna say 27-21 final score, Chiefs.
Okay, Ben, what do you think?
Yeah, like I said, I think it's gonna be a high scoring game for the Eagles. I think it's gonna be a low scoring game for the Chiefs. I'm gonna go 37-20 Eagles.
That is lunacy.
It's not. It's just.
Oh, that's complete.
It's not because let me just finish my thought. The Eagles will tear apart this good Chiefs defense. They're going to contain Chris Jones. Hurts will be accurate. He will hit A.J. Brown on 2 50-plus yard passes, and they will score 37 points. They will contain Mahomes in the pocket. They will get to him early, and they might even injure him a little bit more. Like they might, the amount of hits they're going to give him and the amount of sacks that they're going to cause, it might even injure him more.
Your only argument against Mahomes is his ankle.
Yes,
and
exactly.
He looked great against the Bengals. It didn't even stop him. He still made those.
He is not 100%.
He's not 100%.
The Bengals. You're comparing the Bengals defense to the Eagles defense.
That game was 2 weeks ago.
You're comparing the Eagles. That's true. You're comparing the Eagles defense to the Bengals defense.
So Mahomes, Mahomes still played phenomenal. against the.
That's true.
He played very
But
good.
like
and
I
he has
said,
2
there
weeks.
is nothing to
2
go-
weeks of rest. He gets to play against an Eagles defense. They haven't seen the ball either.
The best passing defense in the league. So you're not going to get.
They haven't.
He's going to get
the best QB in the league.
Okay, but you're not. I personally think they're going to contain Kelsey to 50 less passing yards, and I think they're
Who
only
do they have to contain Kelsey in the middle of the field?
T.J.
Linebacker.
Edwards. They have.
TJ.
They're, you know,
I
they.
mean, TJ
I think T.J. Edwards is a
he's
very
mediocre.
underrated. I think he's a very
He's
underrated
mediocre.
linebacker. You know what? That's
Can he handle
from,
the best?
from all
can
things
he handle
aside.
the best tight end in the
From all
league?
things aside, I think it doesn't even matter because this pass rush will just get to Mahomes early.
I think
my main
he's-
focus is the pass rush on Mahomes this whole game.
My belief, I think the Chiefs' O-line will step up. They've been here before. Their O-line, they've been there for a while.
Yeah, 31-9. Remember that?
Well, you know what?
They're playing with
This is a
they're
new.
playing with third strings that game.
Don't
yeah.
really care.
This is a new.
And that
game.
was
This
an
is a
incredible
Super
Bucs
Bowl.
team.
And I think that's ultimately going to be what makes or breaks the season for them.
Personally,
Chiefs.
my prediction, Connor, is going to be the Eagles will tear apart this defense with A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Quez Watkins going deep. Obviously, Dallas Goedert, like you said, a huge X factor.
Forget Quez
They
Watkins.
can't.
He's not going to do
You
it.
don't
Don't talk.
watch him get a touchdown on the Chiefs, and then you can come back to me. So, like I said, the deep threat will destroy the Chiefs. Their secondary inexperienced, very young rookies, and I think they're going to get 37 points on them. Mahomes is going to throw 2 interceptions. Eagles will sack him 6 times, and Kelsey will be contained under than 50 yards. And they're going to put up 20 points, 2 touchdowns, 2 field goals.
All right, so we got a 27-21 Chiefs victory, a 37-20 Eagles victory. I myself have a 30-27 Chiefs victory. I think Mahomes has been in this situation before. Like Nick said, I think the offensive line is going to step up. I think Jalen Hurts has a chance of, kind of
Folding under
pressure. Yep. Don't get me wrong, has played incredible all year, and there's zero reason to believe that, there's a lot of reason to believe that he will step up to the plate in this game. But ultimately, I think Mahomes, he's a winner. So I think he's going to kind of power this Chiefs offense, help them do whatever they can to win this game. But so we've got Chiefs, Eagles, and
It won't be close.
It's going to be a great game on Sunday,
It
6:30
won't be
p.m.
close.
State Farm Stadium, Arizona. It's going to be a blast. That'll do it for this edition of CBA Digital Network's First Take. I'm Connor Dugan. My left, Ben Perudian. To my right, Nick Harare. Super Bowl 57 coming up. We'll see you next time.